So as everybody knows, our buddy Maximal 10 is prone to giving me a number of older items to review. And sometimes he does it because he just thinks it would be interesting to take a look back at it in the modern age, in the modern era. And sometimes he does it because he wants to torture me. And I didn't really know what to expect with what we're reviewing today, which of course is this guy, the Revenge of the Fallen Leader Class. The good old days of Leader Class, right? Revenge of the Fallen Leader Class Optimus Prime. This is the one that will combine with the Jetfire that came out in that era, the original, right? Now we're going to look at the Jetfire in a separate review, and then we'll look at the combined form of Jetwing Optimus Prime in like a third part, so to speak. So consider this part one, right? I didn't know what to expect here. Good, bad, ugly? We're about to find out when we jump into the latest GotBot True review. Hey one, hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, light up my baby. Hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton. And it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that in the description down below. Also in the description down below, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through Spring, or of course you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. This is the Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime. I had no idea really what to expect here because I've heard it's a challenging transformation, and I really don't know kind of what to think about that from that era. In this mode, he's great. He has a ton of heft, a ton of, a ton of mass to him. The plastic feels robust. I like the truck, even if these things are soft rubbery plastic. Interestingly, I've never heard anybody complain about the soft rubbery plastic used here. And I've never heard anybody complain about the clear plastic hinges on this guy, even though everybody complains about clear plastic in the modern age. Everything here feels good in truck mode, and even underneath it's nice and clean. But what's the rest of the story? Transformation, look at the guy, articulation, the whole thing. Well, how about we head over to the table and find out when we take a closer look at this guy. And yes indeed, here we are with the original, the OG if you will, Revenge of the Fallen Leader Class Optimus Prime. And this guy's big, he's hefty, he's kind of astonishing in that regard, especially considering what we get nowadays. Obviously this is from a long time ago, what, 2009-ish, I guess? And the truck mode is fantastic. This is where we will start. This will technically be part one, where we're going to cover this guy. Part two, we will cover the Jetfire, kind of from that same era, same line. Then we're going to do True Review 1000, where we will be looking at a Nerdvana story, that of my buddy Cyril, where we will kind of do a tour of his collection, so to speak, which is kind of astonishing. He's helped out a lot here on the channel, but he's into several lines and really has been lucky enough to get some key pieces over the years. It'll be interesting, a little bit different for episode 1000, because for those landmark episodes I do try to do something a little different, and then episode 1001 will be both of these guys combined. As a truck, he's pretty tremendous. He rolls well. There's even a sound there. I don't know if that's deliberate or not. We have the trailer hitch back here, which I really like. Yes, there's a sticker up there. This is on loan to the channel by our buddy Maximal 10. It's not mine. He likes to give me things that he figures will torture me, so we'll see how this goes. In terms of the paint apps, though, like, this is pretty idyllic. I don't know if I would say it's perfect. I'm not that, I guess, in tune with the intricacies of everything to do with like movie versus Optimus Prime, like the flame detail here. Maybe that's accurate, maybe that's a little stylized, but when I look at this, when I look at the fade up front, when I look at everything, it looks tremendous. We're not going to score it yet. We will a little bit later, but what a heck of a start. Even in terms of like back here being clean, and even underneath like no robot kibble, like that's to me exceedingly impressive. I'll give credit where credit is due. I'll also say this: I'm showing the transformation going from vehicle to robot because it is infinitely easier than going from robot to vehicle because of one piece. Only one piece. Otherwise, I think it's actually engineered quite well. But I'll talk about that when I get to it. Because, honestly, the instructions are hot garbage. Utter trash. Throw them away. They will be of zero help. None. I couldn't make head or tail out of one movement in there. So, they're useless. I tried to watch several old reviews, and they didn't focus on what I think is the most troubling part of this guy and the hardest part of this guy. I'm going to attempt to do so. We'll see if I do it any more successfully. Who knows? So, yeah, without any further ado, let's get into the transformation. We're going to begin by picking off these pieces on the side, and we're going to flip back this whole piece here. When we do that, we actually, by the way, I'll say this, for the combined mode with Jetfire, we actually do leave all of that opened out like that. Now that we have this opened out, I'm going to deal with what we do here on the back. Most people deal with the back later. I'm doing it first. So we come here and we bring this up around. We can also untab that from the side and bring it up around. There's a little slot right there. When we bring this in, there's a little rectangular tab that should, if you have it lined up correctly, go into that slot. Kind of like that. Then we take this whole piece here and fold it in. Actually, before that, I guess the easiest way to do is show it like this. We have a rectangular slot there. We're going to take this out, and we are going to bring that around, and that rectangular slot goes over this rectangular peg. So that'll come all the way down around and go on like that. We do the same on the other side, where we take this off, we bring it out, we bring it up and tab it in, we bring that out, this is not the most ideal way of doing this. There you go, we bring that out and up over, we tab it on, we bring the whole thing in. Whew. Okay, that's the start of the back, and it's one of the, I'm not going to say harder things because it's not, but it is definitely one of the things worth noting. Then we come to the front and we pick that off, and we're going to be able to get the entire lower body separated now, and we'll do the feet. So I'm actually going to kind of reposition things so that we can do the whole legs and get the guy stood up in order to do the remainder of them. I know this is back a little bit, but it will serve our purpose as this guy gets tall. By the way, you can note that the wheels are also painted on this version. Man, painted wheels. Remember those beautiful days? So we literally pick the top of the body up off of the lower part of the body, which is in essence where the legs are. Then we can split the legs, and this is when things get kind of wild and interesting. The whole side of the leg here comes up and tabs in. Then we bring forward on, there's a ball peg here, we bring forward the foot, we open out this section because there's two pieces that close over, open them out flat, bring that up and snap it into the foot, and bring the grill up on the bottom of the foot. This foot stays better than this foot, at least on this copy. Bring that up on the side and in. Again, all the way up, we open out the foot, we bring that up. These side pieces, I can almost guarantee you, are going to be a little bit of a nuisance as we continue to go here, and they will come off. I'll solidify them later. Then we should be able to bring the legs down and stand them up, and this is when it gets tall, right? Then we, using this black hinge, we collapse the whole thing in, and you know you're doing it right when you get, you know, like a sound like that, basically. These tires here, push them in. Not these ones, these ones. You push those in. You can come back here, and you can bring that up around, and do the same thing on this side, and bring that up around. By the way, for combined mode, these just stay kind of angled down like that. But here, what we do is we turn them around, and when we turn them around, we have a little peg in right there. So we're going to take that whole thing forward, and we have a little peg hole right there, kind of in the 3 lights at the very beginning of it. There's a little peg hole, little round peg hole, and a little round peg there. This is supposed to come up and slide in there to hold it in place. Same over here, it's supposed to come up and slide in there to hold it in place. I'll slide it in later. It's supposed to hold the whole backpack piece in place. So that's the bottom of the body really done. So I'm going to kind of reposition now on the upper body, and we're going to go in closer so that we can get like a good look at what we do with these arms and the chest and that sort of stuff. Okay, so now that we're in a little closer, I just wanted to note that I did put the pegs in on the back. This will likely come undone. I'll have to clean it up toward the end. That's not a big deal. Then we come to really the main part of the whole torso and arm area. We're going to pick that off, and we're going to split these arms, and we're going to take this whole piece. It got to kind of flex down past this, and we're going to bring it all down there and just leave it for now. I do find that the spring-loaded stuff on this guy is a nuisance. All of the spring-loaded stuff on this guy is a nuisance, and I don't like it. This red piece right here that's jammed down in his arm, I don't know exactly where that's supposed to go or how it's supposed to transform. I jam it down there in the arm with the hands, by the way, facing up. I don't know if it's supposed to fit there, maybe it is, but it's not elegant, it doesn't feel good, and then this whole piece comes up and covers over that and goes just under the window of the truck, the windshield of the truck. I don't find that piece of the transformation or engineering to be elegant in the least, and I detest it. So once we got that done, we can pick this whole piece up and over for now, and we're going to take this arm out. And when you take it out, it's so weird. This red hinge and this here need to kind of move in unison to get up past this gray piece right here. So you're going to take the arm out, and you can almost guarantee that the sword is going to pop. And then you're going to bring the gray hinge up around while sort of twisting the red hinge. It's different. I'll say that. And once you have that done, you can pick up that piece that's painted silver and then rotate the shoulder in the right position. How do you know the shoulder is in the right position? Because the red should be on the front, this should be on the side. We take this piece and swing it up to the top, and then we rotate the arm so that the hand is forward, and we bring this down on the side. This popped out. This sword piece popped out. It loves to do that. So now that we got that arm really kind of done and collapsed in, collapse that red hinge in. Now that we got that arm, I'm gonna have to leave that out because it's just gonna pop out anyway. Kind of done. Let's look at the inside here. So as best as I can tell, this is what the inside should be like. Optimus's head here fit in the cab section. That front red piece jammed down here in the arm, and then this folded up over. So again, I pick off this piece on the other side. I flex this down, and you can see here's that red piece. Like, I just jam it down here. I don't know if that's appropriate. I don't know if that's proper. Maybe it is. I don't know, but it fits there. We take this piece up over. We again bring the arm out. That's gonna pop out again. I detest these too. I don't like spring-loaded gimmicks. I don't like sounds and lights. I think that absolutely ruins, like a figure for me anyway. You bring that gray hinge up past this piece. So you bring that gray hinge up while, and there's a little gray tab and hole there. So you bring that. You're going to lift up this piece, is it? No, you're going to lift up this piece. There you go. You're going to collapse the red hinge. So that red hinge is out like that. You're going to take it all the way back and collapse it in. Then you're going to rotate the shoulder so the red piece is forward. This is up. You're going to rotate the arm so the hand is forward. And you're going to put that down on the side. Then you're going to take Optimus... Yeah, he'll do that a lot. Then you're going to take Optimus's head up and do that and straighten it up. Like I said, I detest, absolutely detest that he says that over and over and over and over and over and over again. I'm not going to lie, I don't even know what the button is, and I'm not showing you the lights and sound gimmick because that's annoying to me. So, now we come to the only hard part of this, or what I deem to be the only hard part, and that's this here is like his rib cage, I guess, and on the side here you have two little slots, rails if you will. The chest piece up here, you take these gray pieces and they go down over pegs, you flip out the little blue piece, and then this whole window that's on the side, on clear plastic, angles out around and you bring the chest down. And I spent a lot of time wondering, well, what do I do now that it's down? What do I do with this piece? There's a little section right here with a little peg on it. It just uncomfortably jams in there is the best that I can tell. There's no real location for it to go other than uncomfortably jamming in there. Over here we pick that up. We pick out the side window again to the front, and again we bring this down. We got to jam both of those in. I'm going to jam those in off camera because it's so ugly and inelegant, and honestly I apply a lot of force to do it. It's not a good design. Once you have that done though, the only thing left to do, I guess, is if you want to like angle these chest pieces, you can, if you want to do something like that with them. And really, in essence, boom, here we have Optimus in his robot mode. Clocking in at a whopping 581 grams. Here is Optimus next to a modern day Commander class. And you can see the Commander class isn't too much bigger. And I'm going to tell you now, in terms of mass, it's not a whole lot bigger in terms of mass. But it is bigger. And a modern day leader being double dealer. And you can see, this is why I always say, man, that consumers have all the power, not companies. No company, man, exists without customers. And consumers have to hold companies accountable because look at the difference. We pay infinitely more than what the Optimus costs. Now I get it, many years later. By the way, before anybody gets on the bandwagon about inflation, before you open your mouth about it, learn how inflation works. That's about 3% per annum. And I assure you that the $50, or I think it was $40, I'm sorry, that the Optimus cost way back in 2009 or whatever, would not equate to $85 now, which in Canada is what generally, $80 to $85 in Canada now is generally what a liter costs. So no, it's not inflation. But just you know, as an interest, as a point of interest here. Obviously, we can't really compare him. Look at all the time that has passed. But just so you know where he sort of fits in with modern day stuff. What about the guy himself? He really is gorgeous. Now, by the way, I think I have the head left up a little bit more because I found it gave me a bit of a better range of motion than if I push it all the way down. So I opted to do that. If it is incorrect, then I'm aware of it. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to go push down a little bit more than that. I will also say this, trying to peg these two pieces in by the side of the chest, he said, I'm Optimus Prime 11 times. That's why I don't like lights and sound. It's nothing but a nuisance and an annoyance to me. On the back, that's the way the backpack is supposed to look. Fairly clean, I guess. I'm gonna say, oh, and pretty sure you're supposed to pick off the knee things. I'm gonna say that for the look, I'm gonna give it a 9.5. In case there are imperfections, but boy, oh boy, does he really look like movie Optimus Prime. At least from Revenge of the Fallen, you know, arguably from the first trilogy, right? But boy, oh boy, they did a nice job here. What about the articulation? Because a 9.5 is pretty good, and honestly, the only reason I'm not giving it a 10 is because there might be like imperfections that I am not noticing where I'm not a rampant movie fan and haven't studied every detail of like every piece of flame on Optimus or whatever. I'll also say this. Things like these windows here on the side, all of that is on clear plastic hinges. And everybody complains about it today, but it was fine then, and this guy's lasted a long time. I know a lot of people say that they have issues with clear plastic, but I'm not sure what it is. I've never experienced it. It's a bummer if you have, but I've never experienced it. What about the transformation? Honestly, except for that section, it's elegant to get the robot, and it's fairly elegant to get back. Just a lot of stuff moving around. It's just these two pieces right there they were not handled well at all. There was a better way to design that. I wanted to give the transformation like a 9. Because of that, I'm going to drop it to about a 7.5. They're super frustrating to get in robot mode, super frustrating to hide in vehicle mode. Like I said, maybe I did it right. Maybe jamming them down in the arms is what you're supposed to do, but it doesn't feel right, and it doesn't feel good, especially on something spring-loaded. What about the articulation? 7.5, 9.5, we're at an 8.5 so far. What about the articulation? The head can go left and right, and yeah, do that. Some up, some not much down. The shoulders ratcheted, they can go all the way around. Out, ratcheted, it's beautiful. This piece moves as well. We have soft ratchet, elbow to 90 degrees. We have bicep swivel. These do not like to stay up at all. I mean, you can put them up, but it's only going to pop down. Wrist, I don't think it's anything at the fingers. No, nothing that I can discern at the fingers. Waist, I don't think he has a waist. If he has a waist, I'm not detecting it, and where this is on loan, I really don't want to push to see. Getting the arm up here out of the way, taking this tire here up, the leg can go out to the side that far, I guess. Get that arm out of the way. Yeah, about that far. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's I think it's as much as you're gonna need. Bringing that down. They can go back that far because of the kibble. They can go all the way forward. Knee to 90 degrees. By the way, all this is ratcheted and clicky and gorgeous. Bring all that down. We do have a bit of a swivel. I'm going to say more around the knee than the... Oh, no, it's built into the thigh. I stand corrected. We have ankle tilt. See, ankle tilt is not a new thing. Everybody went bonkers when it came out in War for Cybertron. So this is such a great innovation. They've always had an ankle tilt, so I'm sorry, it doesn't impress me. Can go up, down, to the left, to the right. Waist would be nice. And he's pretty solid when he stands. Waist would be nice. Maybe opening fingers would be nice. That's about it. I'm going to say 8.5. Overall, I think this Optimus is quite good. He's a solid 8.5. He's not perfect. But boy, oh boy, he was good back in the day, and he is definitely still good now. Can score some great dynamic poses. Luckily, even with the waist articulation being limited, unless I'm missing a waist hinge, and I could be, but to my knowledge, I'm not. If it's there, like I feel like he should have a waist, but I'm not detecting one. But as it is, like luckily he has the ankle tilt and he's solid. It's honestly, it is, and probably ever will be, a pretty fantastic Optimus Prime. And here we are once again, and here he is, and okay, so doing the transformation from this mode to robot, not bad. Not too bad at all. The only thing that I don't really like, that I think is kind of a failure of design, I guess, or an oversight in design, is how the like little red pieces under his chest, they become like his ribs, side of his tummy, how they like uncomfortably need to kind of go in on the side of like the vertical of like rib cage, I guess. Vertical, horizontal, like rib cage lines. I don't like how that has to go forced in there, I guess, is the only thing I can think of to say. I think the legs are brilliant. I think the way the body kind of compacts is mostly brilliant. The arms, they're all right. The noises. Oh, the noises are so annoying. I've said a million times in my life, I detest lights and sound. I detest it. And this is why. Because it just likes to go off. It's annoying. But it's a great looking truck, great looking robot, generally quite well articulated, a lot of heavy, nice ratchets, like well built. The engineering, maybe a little bit over engineered. And with the force that I had to put on to lock that chest in, there's no way that anybody, I believe, who is, fairly young and a new fan would be able to really pull it off. I don't believe that they would lock that in. They'll put the chest down there. I don't believe that the majority would be able to lock it in easily anyway. And once it's in, it's a
bear to pull back out to go back to truck mode. Going back to truck mode, again, all the legs and everything there, all perfect, just fine. However, the way you got to put these arms in over the like rib pieces, tummy pieces that are connected to these two chest pieces is honestly terrible. It's awful. You got to have the arms just right. I just uncomfortably jammed those chest pieces down and into the arms. I don't know if that's right, and then I uncomfortably jammed these pieces over top. Now it does help if you line up the arms and put the little chest pieces in and then fold these pieces up over, but it's the one part of the transformation I don't like. Great articulation, stupendous look, excellent heft, and an okay transformation that might be a little over-engineered. The way the sides of the tummy, I don't even know what to call that part of his body, the way that's done is terrible. That's the one piece of the engineering on this that's awful. Could have done without the lights and sound gimmicks personally. But overall, not too bad. It'll be interesting to see how he interacts with old Jetfire when that time comes. Good truck, good robot. Let me know what you think about Revenge of the Fallen Leader Class Optimus Prime. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through Spring, or of course you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. You can also hit the subscribe button. Stick around, have some fun with us, and don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, you right there, you sitting right there, you, that guy, that girl over there too. I'm telling you right now, you do make a difference in the world, whether you know it or not today. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres or the old fashioned way, right here inside the videos.